Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer.
Ready, set, go!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. So we're going to jump on in with the Equate All Day Moisture. It is a moisturizer with SPF. It makes a great moisturizer. I just put about a pea size, maybe a little more than that, on my fingers and then dot it all over my skin. And I'm rubbing that in really well. So work that in, because whenever you haven't slept, moisturizing is very important. So we're going to move on now to the under eye area, because that's also very important. If you have a cooling under eye cream like this is, it's a serum, the Freeze 24/7 one, it is a very cooling one, but you don't want to do too much like I did. That's why I have the no sign up there, because I did too much at first, but then I got some of it off and put about a pea-size amount of that as well, and work it under the eyes, really rubbing it in. This helps to wake up the under eye and to depuff a little bit. We're going to do more that depuffs, and it feels so good going on. It feels wonderful. It just kind of wakes me up a little bit. Now that I've let that set for a few minutes, I went ahead and got my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge wet, and I'm using the Maybelline Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation, and I'm dotting that all over the skin. All over it. And I'm using the applicator it came with to dot it on. I'm doing a little heavier because this is a lighter coverage, which is important whenever you haven't slept, as that's not the time to add a whole bunch of foundation, because it can look cakey and kind of weighs the face down even more for me. So that's why I choose to use this one. And then using the Miracle Complexion Sponge and blending it in, making sure I go everywhere, all over my face and eyes and everything. And this just gives me a more natural complexion. I also take it down the neck a little bit. And the beauty sponge just kind of shears it out that much more, so it's not a full coverage, but this does help. And I'm using that and basically tapping on the skin mostly. Maybe a little tap and drag here and there, but now we're going in with the CoverGirl Depuffer Concealer. It has a little metal tip on the end, and that helps to depuff the under eyes and to give a cooling sensation as well. Would y'all like to see a hacks video about other ways you can look more awake, or fake being awake, fake bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but do a small triangle under the eyes, what I'm doing here. I'm not doing heavy-duty triangles like I sometimes do with the Instant Age Rewind. So I'm just doing light under the eyes. And this is also in my Project Empties video. And that's why I'm laughing, because I did not realize I was so far down on this as I was, and it was hard to get it out. So I'm taking it down the nose and on the Cupid's bow a little bit, and chin as well. So I put it on the forehead a little bit, and then I'm going to take the Miracle Complexion Sponge again and really work it in. Kind of look a little bit weird right now, but I smiled at myself in the mirror. And I'm using that sponge and just dotting it in, basically pushing that into my face. And this just takes a little bit of time to work in, but I'm trying to make it appear as natural or skin-like as I can. And I also make sure everything's well blended around my mouth as well. So now I'm having trouble finding the next product that I'm going to use. That's why, but I'm using the e.l.f. HD powder in the sheer one. And I'm taking my small tapered brush, I believe is what it is, from e.l.f., and dipping that in there and sweeping that in the areas that we just used the concealer on. under the eyes. Make sure it's well coated where it won't crease under there, because it can crease. That one, that concealer especially, can crease pretty bad. So I try to really make sure that's set. Now down the nose and Cupid's bow and all that, I don't go as heavy, but I am doing a light layer. A regular powder brush like the e.l.f. complexion brush will work for this as well, but this works just fine for me. So now I'm having trouble. I forgot to get my e.l.f. Aqua Minerals, I believe, or Aqua Beauty molten liquid eyeshadow, and it's in the shade Rose Gold. I believe that's what it's called. And I'm going to sweep this on the eyes a little bit, and it has such a cooling feel to it. That's why I just keep going back and forth with it as well. And whenever I go to blend it out with my finger, I realize I didn't have enough on there, so I go back and add some more. With this, you can even build it up a little bit, but it feels so cooling, and that helps wake up the eyes a little bit. Which, that's what helped make me remember that I forgot to do something. And you'll see that in a moment as well. But I'm really just working that in. And now I remember that I forgot to put my eye drops in. So I have a emoji pop up of a face doing a face plant. These are the cooling drops from Clean and Clear. Or not Clean and Clear. The cooling clear eyes drops. You can tell I'm a little bit tired. Dropping those in my eyes, and normally I would do this before foundation, before eye makeup or anything. Usually before I even start filming, but I'm showing you that it is possible to go ahead and do it, even though you've already got a little bit of foundation on, and concealer, and even eyeshadow. But, you know, then I take the sponge I was using before and just kind of make sure everything's dried down a little bit, and then before I move on to the rest of my makeup, I go ahead and fan my eyes because it looks like I'm crying. It's kind of funny. But now I'm going to move on to the next product, and that is going to be the CoverGirl TruNaked palettes. It's the one in nudes. And we're using the third shade in this palette. It's a pinky tone, which the eyeshadow, the liquid eyeshadow that we put on, just helps bring out this color even more. And this color really pops on the eyes. That's why I love it so much. Whenever I haven't really had all that much sleep, but yet I don't want to do a bold look, because it's important to help brighten up the eyes a little bit. That's what we're focusing on right now, is bringing brightness to the eyes. And I'm using a flat shader brush pretty much for that. You can use any of them by e.l.f. or whatever. And I'm jamming out a little bit. I got music playing in the background, but I don't have it on here, and it is very powdery. You saw me blow the powder off, and now we're going into the next shade, and that's the one right next to it. It's the fourth shade. It's a lighter brown color. I'm not doing a heavy duty look here. We're just taking that through on the outer corner a little bit and through the crease. So, really just trying to give a little bit of dimension and depth. In another video that I will link down below, I did a goldy type look with a bronzer in the crease, and that would work too, as well. And I'll link that video down below. And this is the Maybelline Baby Lips Glow that I'm putting on now because my lips are feeling a little bit dry. It's important to moisturize there too, which I didn't do, which I realized that. That's why I went ahead and added that. And because it's important to hydrate. Whenever there's a lack of sleep or whatever, it's important to hydrate. I'm using the e.l.f. Essentials bronzer brush, and I'm going into the e.l.f. Blush and Bronzer Duo in St. Lucia. I'm using the blush shade and putting that all over the cheek. Well, on the apples of the cheeks and working it back, rather. And this doesn't have it just gives a little bit of a flush to the lip look. And now I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Wear Mascara. I forgot to hold it up, so I just put that right in the center of the thing. And my e.l.f. eyelash curler. Now you can warm up this curler a little bit. And that's what I did because it helps to add a little bit of curl. You can use a hairdryer and do it, but you always want to make sure it's not too hot before you put it on the lid. So I warmed it up and then curled my lashes really good. Now I'm using the Mega Wear mascara from Wet n Wild. This is a $1 product. I've got another video coming up soon, or it might already be up by the time this comes up, that I also use this in, along with a bunch of other really cheap products. But mascara is really important to help open up the eyes, and curling your lashes is important to help open up the eyes, because otherwise they can look droopy, and that adds to the tired look, at least in my opinion. And some of the stuff that I'm come up with, okay, and apparently my video went blank there for a second, but I am adding the Rimmel Scandalize in Nude to my waterline. Sorry about that. Sorry about the technical difficulty. But hopefully it'll work out whenever I produce this. If not, I apologize. But some of these ideas I got from Rach Loves. I'll link her video about being more awake down below as well. And Emily Noel 83 also gave me some great pointers as well. Now I'm taking the Maybelline Brow Precise, I believe is what it's called, and filling in the brows, because the brows help frame the face. You don't want to go overboard with making them too dark, but, work them in a little bit, and I just used a different mirror than I was using, so that maybe you can see more of what I'm doing. And actually, I'm covering up my face a little more. But if you hold it down towards the bottom, as I've said in other videos, you can really have a light hand with it, and it helps to not go overboard that way. If you hold it closer to the top, where you're using it, you're going to push harder than holding it at the bottom. So, small, feathery strokes to help make it look somewhat natural at least. And then I'm just running my fingers through my hair, because we are going to do the hair as well in this video. So now I'm taking off that lip balm, but you could leave that lip balm on and not even mess with an actual lipstick. Some people might. But I'm going in with the Silk Finish one by Wet n Wild. It's in the fuchsia color. I'm not sure what the number is, but I'll leave all this down below. And I'm putting that on my lips. I'm sorry that I'm out of frame. I did not realize that. But whenever you're using a brighter color like this, it's easy to get out of the lines. But a bright colored lip can help wake up the face as well. That's why I enjoy adding a little bit of color. Now I'm using the Suave sea salt spray and spritzing that all over my hair really good. My hair is damp throughout this video, by the way. It's damp, and I used that and just kind of scrunch it in, because that helps to add texture. A sea salt spray is usually a texturizing spray, so, just scrunch it up a little bit, because I had brushed my hair pretty good before I ever did this video. I want to thank you so much for watching this video and taking the time out of your day to do that. So, I hope that you do subscribe so that you can see whenever I do post a new video. I also hope that you follow us on all of our social media as well. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest, as well as I have a blog where I post different topics on as well that may pertain to this video, may not. I will be posting links in the section down below to where you can find that blog and find all the links to my social media, so I hope you subscribe. Thank you. Photos in this video were done by GMC Photo Editing, so I hope that you will check that page out on Facebook, and I will leave the link down below for you to click on it, so check it out and show her your support.